translation of like people in 80 different countries in the world, but it was mostly a Hispanic community. So this is our first time doing this presentation in English. We have the honor of having Mr. Francesco Canone, which is the CEO of the company, in our room. So I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give the presentation in English, because if we do the translation, then it's gonna take a lot of time, and I know it's a little bit late where you guys are. So we're gonna do that, and then at the end we're gonna give a little bit of time for questions and answers, and I'm gonna bring him so that he can answer your questions. So I'm gonna mute the microphones. I'm just gonna leave Francesco's microphone open so that we won't have any interruptions. Okay, so but if you have questions or anything, you can either raise your hand, or even better, we can leave them at the end of this conference. Ok, so Francesco, quello che gli ho detto è che dai, ci provo a fare la presentazione io in inglese, così non ci mettiamo così tanto mentre facciamo la traduzione, per due motivi, perché lo so che anche tu sei un po' stanco, hai avuto una giornata troppo lunga. Anche perché così non facciamo così lunga la presentazione, ok? Quindi adesso gli condivido il mio schermo. I'm gonna share my screen, and can you please let me know if you guys can see it? Give me 1 minute.
Posso dire una cosa prima che inizi a fare la presentazione?
No. Ma certo, ma mica mi devi chiedere permesso, sei tu il CEO della compagnia, quindi...
No, e che c'entra? Sei tu che hai organizzato la serata. Innanzitutto, buonasera a tutti.
So I want to say good night to everybody. Good evening.
E questa sera appunto farà la presentazione Wendy.
So this night we're going to have Dr. Wendy doing the presentation.
È una donna che conosco già da parecchi anni, è una donna piena di energia, con una carica pazzesca.
So I've known this woman for many years by now, and I can tell you she's a great person and that she has a lot of energy.
Quindi vi chiedo una cortesia: quando lei comincerà a fare la presentazione, mettete da parte telefoni, qualsiasi cosa, concentratevi su quello che lei ha da dirvi.
And so I would like to ask for a favor from all of you. Please concentrate in whatever she's going to be sharing with you. Put your cell phones and everything away so that you can listen with a lot of attention what she's going to be sharing with you guys.
Perché come lo racconta lei, lo possono raccontare veramente in pochissime persone. Grazie, Wendy.
Because how she's going to share this information with you, not many people is well able to do that. So just pay attention to her. Grazie, France. Vabbè, vediamo se ce la faccio. Okay, so guys, I'm going to share my screen. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Wendy Delgado. I'm originally an oral surgeon. I have a master's degree actually in cosmetic dentistry. I'm also a professional opera singer. I graduated from a conservatory in Italy actually, and so that's why I'm able also to speak Italian. My native language is Spanish because I'm Costa Rican, but I'm living in the United States of America at the moment. I'm living in Houston, Texas. And I'm also a networker. So you probably know me from this other company where I actually became top rank in a record time of 16 months. And as I said, we created an organization of like 20,000 people in around 80 different countries in the world in just a couple of years. So the funny thing is that after I left that company, I didn't want to do an MLM project again. I was concentrating in developing my own project, my own company, which is a coaching program. And I don't know about you, but usually when you become a leader in a company, you have people offering different opportunities every day, even like MLM products or opportunities that have to do with investments or a passive income, profits or coins or whatever. Like there's a new opportunity every day that you can join, but I really didn't want to do that. But I have to say, so my upline is actually in the room right now, which is Maurizio Parlangeli, a queen. And so one of the things that I'm very thankful for is that he was literally hammering and hammering and hammering every day. Like, Wendy, you need to pay attention to Francesco's project. You need to see what he's doing. You please watch this video. You please, you have to join this project. Like, it's a great project. And like every day he was sending me messages and videos and stuff that I should see. And when I finally clicked on one of the videos that he sent me, it was like love at first sight. I completely fell in love with this project. And I really hope that, as Francesco said, you really pay close attention to what we're going to be sharing with you, because this is an opportunity where not only you can make a lot of money in a short period of time, because you're going to see this as a short-term profit business, if we can call it that way, but also it has a humanitarian cost to it that I just fell in love with. So I'm sharing my screen right now, guys. If you could please put a 1 in the chat if you can see my screen, that would be awesome. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Francesi, guarda lo schermo, si vede? Okay, perfect. Okay, guys, so what I'm going to start by saying is that our project is called EVODEAF, which comes from putting together 2 words which mean the evolution of the deaf people or the deaf world. And our CEO, as I mentioned, is Mr. Francesco Canone, which I met in this other company where we were working. He was one of the biggest leaders from Italy in the company. Hold on, because I'm having issues with this slide. It's not passing it. Okay, there you go. And so as I was saying, he was one of the biggest leaders in the company. And he was basically in charge of developing the community of deaf people, because you know, like, there's something that caught my attention a lot, and it is that when I started learning about this community, it's a very productive community as well, but then the issue is that we don't know how to communicate with them, and so they're left out from almost every business. So when he started developing this community, he had the issue because he is a person that can hear and he didn't know sign language. So he started to work with this community so that they could develop a system to communicate between them without having to need an interpreter. And that's how he actually met Anna. She was at one of the courses that Francesco was given from the company, and she was there ready to be a student of this course, but he couldn't communicate with her unless he had the help of Paula, who was her translator, her interpreter, right? So they started working together to create a new technology, because what they wanted to do is they wanted to create something new. They tried to see what was available in the market so that they could use, but the problem was that everything that they found was already obsolete. It was old and it was not something that they could use. So they got together and they also invited more investors into the company, more partners into the company, so that together we could create a technology where basically we can put 2 worlds together forever, which is the non-hearing and the hearing worlds together, which of course, you know, that have been separated by many, many years. And unfortunately, the non-hearing community has been segregated from everything. So our mission is basically to create accessibility, to provide better accessibility using innovative technology, to create partnership, to enter into agreements with organizations and associations at a global level, to also create services like healthcare, education, interpretation, economic support, and of course, to create jobs, to create the world's largest support team for the deaf community. So what you're seeing on screen right now is like, he's not like playing or doing anything crazy in this video. What you're seeing is artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is what they were able to put together with the lady Anna that I just mentioned you, because what they did, so all these little red dots that you saw is basically our artificial intelligence reading his movements. And so when he is doing these sign language, our avatar is going to translate that into spoken language. And we're going to be also able to translate spoken language into sign language. So this is the one of the, as I said, one of the greatest things that I love from this company. It's most innovative technology out there for deaf people. So our plan is to create an intelligent avatar, as I said, and we are going to create a technology that will allow people that are people that can hear to communicate with the hearing impaired people and vice versa. It's basically like a translator from one language to another. But our goal is not only to create an avatar, but we also have different things that we want to implement in the company. So of course, the first one is the avatar, which is going to enhance the communication between deaf and hearing impaired people. Then we're creating WikiSign, which I think probably most of you are already familiar with Wikipedia, right? But so WikiSign, it's going to be like a dictionary or like an encyclopedia of signs, and we're going to start that with 6 languages. We're going to create the OCR scan, which is basically, I don't know if you've ever used the scanner in your cell phones, but you can basically scan a document or a QR code or anything that you need to scan, and then the avatar is going to pop up and it's going to translate whatever is written in that information, and it's going to translate that into sign language, which is also amazing. We're going to have an EVODEAF chat, which is going to basically allow us to communicate with deaf people on a chat. We're going to create EVODEAF car, which when I heard about this app, I was so impressed because basically we are creating a technology. Like, have you ever thought how deaf people can become aware when they have an emergency vehicle behind them if they cannot hear the siren? How do they know? If it's not because they have someone knocking on their window, how could they know? I mean, if they don't have, of course, the lights on, right? So we are developing an app that when the avatar hears a siren, then the avatar is going to pop up and they're going to start blinking lights so that the deaf person can become aware that there's an emergency vehicle. It could be a police patrol, an ambulance, fireman, whatever. And so they can move and not create a situation where they could be in danger. We're also going to have a kids section, which I love. Well, I'm going to call it the kids section, but it can be also for grown-up kids. You know, it could be from kids from 1 year to 100 years old, because we created a game that basically, through playing this game, people are going to be able to learn sign language. And then the cool thing is that they will have the possibility, while they are playing this game, they can also earn coins, and then you can exchange those coins also for our tokens. So this is a really cool one. We're going to have a commercial application, which is the integration with community sensitive businesses. This is an app that basically any business can introduce into their community of clients. And then we're going to create a support system, which is going to be like a video call center. And that way we're also going to provide jobs for the deaf people. Okay. So what will be the potential market? The potential market to which the application will be offered is divided basically in 4 categories. The private users, which is people like you and me. Like I just had a conversation 30 minutes before jumping into this conference with one of my leaders. She's Costa Rican, but she's living in California. And it turns out that she has a downline that jumped into our first webinar just this Saturday. And he went crazy about it because he has a niece that is deaf. So like, for him, it's really hard to communicate with her, but now with the possibility of having this avatar, he's going to be well able to communicate with his niece. So any private user can download our app to communicate with the people from the deaf community. Okay. We're going to have corporate users, training companies, communication companies, marketing companies, video information networks, etc. Any company out there can also use the benefits of our avatar. And here's one of the coolest things, and we're going to be talking about the blockchain week, where we were not this last weekend, but the one before in Rome. And the coolest thing is that not only regular people or private users, as I mentioned, wanted his product or our product now, but the coolest thing, it was the CEOs of the other crypto companies in the expo coming to Francesco because they want his avatar. Because as I just mentioned, the deaf community is also a very productive community. They have jobs, they move also the economy. We're talking about millions of people, actually 72 registered million deaf people around the world, and they are all left from the businesses. They're left out from the businesses because we don't know how to communicate with them. So that is one of the things that I'm most excited about. We're going to have professional users like doctors, like I said, medical practices, associations, research studies, just mention it, institutional users like municipalities, like hospitals, like clinics, like state departments, like anything that has to do with public information. It's really millions of people that we are going to be able to help around the world. And what you're seeing on the screen in this little video is one of our initial demos. The avatar right now is a little bit more advanced, and we're actually working on developing the facial expressions, because of course it is very important for deaf people to be able to read the expressions in our faces. And so that's what we're working on right now. But I don't know about you, but it really excites me when I can see it in movement. I think I have someone with their mic open. If you could please close it, I would appreciate it. Okay, so we just talked about what I would call the humanitarian side to this business. But now we're going to talk about the business side of the business, right? So what we did, we created an NFT, a non-fungible token, which is basically a token that proves ownership and authenticity of a digital asset. And one of the things that I love, this is going to be the first token dedicated to the deaf community. There's not another one token like ours on the market. And we will issue one NFT in one of the most innovative blockchains in Europe, which is EVODEAF, which is actually one of the top 10 blockchains in Europe. And this NFT is going to be split into 1 billion fractions. Okay, so the private sale and the pre-sale will be carried out in 2 phases, each one of them. Okay, and we will be selling 60 only, I have to say only 64 million tokens. Okay, so these guys are going to go quick. So we better pay attention because these are this is hot stuff on the market. Okay, so the token will be sold in EVODEAF coins, which is our stable coin, which is equivalent to 1 cent of a euro. And it's going to be 100 packages. So the holders of the NFTs will own the company's intellectual property with all its benefits. Basically, like, I'm going to describe it in an easier way so that you can understand it. It's like sharing, like holding shares from a company where you are going to receive profits from those quote unquote shares. Okay, that's what our token is and what our NFT is. So these are our 2 coins, EVODEAF coin and EVODEAF token. So EVODEAF coin is our stable coin, and it's the equivalent to 1 cent. And EVODEAF token is our NFT token, which is already equivalent to 35 cents. So these guys, I really need you to pay attention to this because this is where these gets really interesting. Okay, so on stage 1, which is private sale, this stage is for insiders and it is usually intended for major investors. Okay, so at this stage, sales will be made in 2 mini stages. Okay, so it's basically 2 stages divided each one into 2 mini stages. Okay, so this first stage, which is starting right now, the token price is already at 35 cents, as I already told you, but we are discounting it to 5 cents, guys. So you are buying something that has already the price of 35 cents, but you are buying it at a discounted price of only 5 cents. And only 16 million of these EVODEAF tokens are going to be put into this stage. So as I said, these are going to go quick. Okay, so basically for every package of 100 euros that you buy, you're going to get 2,000 EVODEAF tokens. Okay, and this is one of the major advantages, if you will, that you're going to get from these stage, which is that after 12 months, 50%, guys, 50% of the tokens are going to be unfrozen or unblocked, so you can trade them already in the market. Okay, then we're going to have the second mini stage of this stage, which is private sale number 2. And as I said, the token price is already 35 cents, but you're going to buy in this stage, you're going to buy this the token at 8 cents. Okay, so remember, stage number 1 was 5 cents. Stage number 2 is going to be 8 cents. It's going to be also a stage where we're going to have released 16 million tokens. So guys, we really need to act fast because, as I said, these are going to go quick. Okay, so but in this stage, for a package of 100 euros, you are going to get 1,250 EVODEAF tokens, okay? And we are reducing the amount of unblocked tokens to 25%, okay? So every stage that we move on forward, the benefits are gonna shrink a little bit. So that's why you guys are really fortunate of being here and that Manuela share this information with you, because right now this information is gold, okay? Both of these stages are going to last 30 days. So this is going to move real quick. So, and this is actually why I told you earlier that this is a short-term project that you're gonna get your profits real quick in this company, okay? So moving on into the second phase, pre-sale stage 1, as I said, the token is at 35 cents. In these third mini stage, you are going to be able to get the token at 10 cents, okay? Each stage is 16 million tokens. And then in this third mini stage, you're going to get, for one package of 100 euros, you're going to get the equivalent of 1,000 EVODEAF tokens, okay? So remember, on our first one, it was 5 cents. So you would get, for every 100 euros invested, you're gonna get 2,000. In this one, it's already half, okay? For every 100, you get 1,000 tokens, okay? And there's gonna be a reduction also in the amount of tokens that you're gonna be unblocked when you get to your 12th month, which is going to be 5%, okay? And this stage is going to last 60 days. And for the last stage, you're going to get the token at 18 cents. It's also going to be 16 million tokens that we're going to release into this stage. And for every package of 100 euros, you're going to get now only 555 EVODEAF tokens, okay? And the amount of tokens that you will have unblocked by the 12th month is 5%. And after the 12th month, all the stages are going to be unblocking 5% per month, okay? So by the time we go to the market, the coin, as I said, or the token, is going to be released in 35 cents, okay? That's going to be our listing price. What are the extra benefits of owning our tokens? So one of the things that you need to understand is that you're going to be able to benefit not only from the fact that our token is going to go up in price in time, but also you're going to be receiving the revenues from our token, because as I said, it's like owning, quote unquote, shares from a company, which you would be receiving, quote unquote, dividends, okay? But so in these project, we call it different because of course it's an NFT, and instead of dividends, you're going to be receiving the profits from the company. But it's not like in many companies out there, you have to wait for the whole year so that the company will tell you how much money they made in a year and how much is going to be split between the partners, right? And if there was any money left. Here, it doesn't work like that, because the tokenomics are programmed in a way that every single cent that comes into the company is immediately divided into 20% that goes to the owners of the tokens, and then the company operates only in 80% of the money that comes into the business. Okay, so again, 20% goes immediately to the owners of the tokens, and then the company keeps 80% of the money that comes in, and we operate on that, okay? So by holding our NFT, you can own the intellectual property of the EVODEAF company, and the revenues will be coming from the sales of subscriptions, affiliations, e-commerce, new tokenization, gaming, training courses, and everything that we have mentioned in this conference as I am speaking, okay? The EVODEAF company chose to allocate 20% of the revenues among all the EDF tokens in circulation. So obviously, the more tokens you have, the more profits you're gonna have in your pockets. And so this is another demo of our avatar. And as I said, we are working now in developing the facial expression of our token. This was one of our first demos, but as I said, we have already advanced a little bit more into it, so it looks a little bit different than what you are seeing on the screen right now. But I mean, I like every time I watch these videos, guys, I just fall in love with it because we are doing something extraordinary that is going to change literally the lives of millions and millions of people out there. Oh, I just love it. And guys, as I mentioned, last week we were in the blockchain week in Rome, and the coolest thing was that, as I said, not only private users want our products, but actually the CEOs of the companies were coming to us asking for information and how they could get our avatar, because of course they want our avatar now in their businesses. We have the logos on screen of many of the companies where we have already built partnerships with, because of course we need the help of a lot of people to be able to make this project a reality. And so I can tell you that as of right now, there's approximately 200 people working in the development of all the things that I just mentioned you, the apps, the games, the avatar, everything. So there's a lot of people that are collaborating with us. And so guys, basically, this is the presentation. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to bring to the screen Mr. Francesco Cannone. I know he's traveling today and he's pretty tired probably by now. So that's why actually I didn't want him to do the whole thing and me translating and stuff, because we like, one of the things that I'm really thankful for is to have such a support team, if you will, working with me, because as you can see, Mr. Maurizio Parlangeli is also here. He's my outline, but having the same CEO of the company in a presentation. And yesterday we were until almost 4 a.m. because we did a webinar for Spanish speakers, which was at night here in America. And he was up until 4 a.m. He had to wake up 3 hours later to travel today. And so it really is an honor for me to have him here today, and I'm just thankful for all the support that he's given me. I actually called him, and you can ask him, and I called her like at 3:30. I talked a little bit about the project. She immediately fell in love with it. She went and researched everything about it, and she's like, can we have a meeting today with some of my people, because we also have a nice surprise for you guys. And this is something that I didn't mention, but so there's a referral program basically from 2 levels. Okay, so because one of the things that, and I mentioned earlier that I didn't want to do like MLM businesses and stuff because they take a lot of time to develop. And when Francesco told me, Wendy, we are not doing an MLM because we don't want this to be a long-term business where people have to put money today and wait for 3, 4, 5 years for them to start seeing profits and stuff. I don't want to do that. I want to do maybe a 2-level referral program where we can advance very fast and moving the company forward so that people can capitalize in this thing in just a matter of months. And so when you invite a person to this business, you're going to get 10% of whatever they invest. But if they invite more people on your second level, you get another 10%. But so it's going to be 5%, let's say, on quote unquote money, but then the other 5%, it's going to be in tokens. So you are going to be receiving more tokens, which is going to make you co-owner of the company, and you're going to receive profits from those tokens as well. And of course, if you want to, you can sell them when they go out into the market. But so guys, this is an amazing opportunity, but we also have a special promotion that we just extended because the promotion actually ended tomorrow. We just extended it to June the 10th, so that people from the average community, if they want to, they can exchange their CRUs for the EVODEAF tokens. And the way that's going to work is for every 10,000 CRUs, which are, I think right now it's around 0.003. So that's around $300. If you exchange those for EVODEAF tokens, you're going to get, for every 10,000, you get 800 tokens. Okay, so actually, let me correct something. If you exchange 100,000 CRUs, you're going to get 8,000 EVODEAF, which means 100,000 CRUs is approximately $300. That's where the mistake was, because it's not 10,000 CRUs equals $300, but 100,000 CRUs equals $300. But if you multiply 8,000 EVODEAF tokens times 5 cents, you're going to see that that's an approximate of $400. So just by doing this swap, you are already in profit. Okay, you are already making a little bit of money there. But if you multiply 8,000 of our EVODEAF tokens into 35 cents, which is going to be approximately in January when we launch into the market, then you see that you're going to have approximately $3,000 in your pockets just by making this swap, guys. And that is going to be available only until June the 10th. And my advice to you, because this was communicated to me by Francesco just a couple hours ago, the thing is that the company basically separated a percentage of our tokens to do this swap, and they're going fast. So if they finish before June the 10th, you're going to be left out. So this is an opportunity that I would really, really, really recommend, that if you have the possibility to do it, because it's going fast. And so I'm going to open the mics for Francesco, and I'm going to open also the space for questions and answers. And Francesco, quindi non so se vuoi aggiungere qualcosa. Ho già spiegato anche il fatto che abbiamo due livelli.
Ho sentito tutto, sì, ho seguito tutto.
E anche quello della crew, quindi non so se hai qualcosa che tu
allora, quello che posso aggiungere è che le crew, lo scambio con le crew sta arrivando molto velocemente, non pensavamo.
So yeah, he's basically confirming what I just said, that the percentage of the EVODEAF tokens that they had separated to make this swap with the CRUs are going really fast.
Come abbiamo messo da parte una certa quantità, che praticamente è quella nostra, a disposizione della rete EVOREACH, sta giungendo quasi a termine, quindi non so neanche se arriva per il 10.
And so he, as I said, he just confirmed that we don't know, because they're going out so fast. We don't know if we're going to make it until the 10th. So if you want to do it, you have to act fast.
Quindi se volete partecipare e volete dare le vostre crew, fatelo perché sapete che la crew sta purtroppo scendendo in questo momento, ma noi siamo disposti a prenderci questo rischio, però a darvi un prodotto veramente reale, con un una piattaforma reale. Ecco.
And so if you want to do this swap, we recommend that you do it as fast as you can, because anyways, we all know, and we've seen it, how the CRUs are going down in price every single day. And so you have now the possibility to have these other EVODEAF token, which is a real token. It's a real NFT. And so you can get the benefits from that too.
I have a question, Wendy.
Of course, Manuela.
Okay, right. The question is that if one decides to swap the crew, regardless of whatever the amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
The EDTs, are they given all in one go, or are they frozen and given in bits and bobs? Can you tell me how it actually works when you're swapping the crew for the EDT?
Sure.
How they're given?
And so one of the important things is that there's a maximum of 100,000 CRUs per person that you can swap. Okay, so what I would say, if you have more than that, you can open an account under your daughters or sons or husbands or whatever name, and you can actually make the swap of another 100,000 coins if that's what you want to do. But so I'm going to ask your question to Francesco. Quindi lei vuole sapere se si fa lo scambio con, cioè dei crew con gli EVODEAF token, come verranno sbloccati questi? Si sbloccano anche in un anno? Cioè come funziona?
Sì, è la stessa procedura, diciamo, della fase della pre-sale, quindi si sbloccherà il 5% mensile dopo 12 mesi.
Okay, so this one would work that as the same way as the pre-sale phase. So you would get 5% unblocked after the 12th month. 5% every month.
Okay, so there's 5% from which month? Is it when the whole sale is finished, is it?
It's 1 year after you make the swap. So 12 months from the day that you make the swap, you're going to get your first 5%. Guys, I'm going to stop the recording because if not, it's going to be a lot longer. So I'm just going to cut the recording so we can upload this video into my YouTube channel and you can actually share it with as many people as you can. Okay.